According to James Keller, in a piece on gay marriage written in 2012, same-sex marriage has no logical impact on the everyday lives of religious conservatives. But religious conservatives denying same-sex couples the right to marry does have a direct impact on everyday lives of homosexuals. Homosexuals have been fighting for years for the right to marry the person they love. And today I'm going to talk about the struggles and discrimination they faced over the years, as well as the recent progress that has been made. Then, I'm going to define a civil union and describe the differences between a civil union and marriage, and the benefits a civil union might not get, as well as dispel some of the reasons against same-sex marriage. To many, the struggle began with the Stonewall riots. In the article, Stonewall Riots, the Beginning of the LGBT Movement, published by the Leadership Conference on June 22, 2009, the Stonewall Riots began on June 28, 1969, outside the Stonewall Inn in New York City. The Stonewall Inn was a popular gay bar, where customers often faced discrimination from local police officers. One night, the customers decided to fight back, and this sparked multiple days of varying degrees of conflict. At its peak, the Stonewall Riots included 1,000 homosexuals fighting for their rights. This is not the only time that homosexuals would face discrimination. As the AIDS outbreak spread across the United States, bringing fear with it, people put the blame on homosexuals. Some even went as far as to avoid touching the clothing or sharing glasses with a homosexual. In a study by Leanne Anderson, published in the article For Whom is the World Just? In 1992, a gay man with HIV or AIDS was more likely to be personally blamed for his infection than a heterosexual man or woman with the same disease. This discrimination would continue into the late 1990s with the Defense of Marriage Act. According to the article, Should Gay Marriage Be Legal?, published by the Pro-Con organization and accessed on November 25, 2009, President Bill Clinton signed the Defense of Marriage Act into effect on September 21, 1996. This act denied homosexuals the right to the federal benefits that married couples received. Today, the Defense of Marriage Act is no more, and same-sex marriage is legal in 16 states, according to the Pro-Con organization in the article Should Gay Marriage Be Legal? These states include our own state of Washington, and a recent CNN poll published on August 11, 2010, claimed that 52% of Americans supported gay marriage. The support has even spread into our government and even up to our president. President Barack Obama is the first seated president to publicly declare his support for gay marriage. The Pro-Con organization's article, Should Gay Marriage Be Legal?, quotes him saying on May 9, 2012, that at a certain point, I have just concluded that for me, it is important for me to go ahead and affirm that I think same-sex couples should be able to get married. Not all states allow same-sex marriages, but some allow same-sex couples a civil union, which Merriam-Webster defines as a legal relationship between same-sex couples. The distinct difference between a civil union and a legal marriage is a perfect opportunity for big companies, especially insurance companies, who often offer benefits to married couples, to not offer those same benefits to homosexuals. According to the Human Rights Campaign, in an article titled An Overview of Federal Rights and Protections Granted to Married Couples, accessed on November 25, 2013, there are 1,138 federal benefits, rights, and protections awarded to legally married couples that homosexual couples may not have the right to. These include access to the Social Security of a spouse after that spouse has passed away, or sharing health insurance plans. Often, reasons against same-sex marriage are based on religious views and preserving the sanctity of marriage. But in the first book of Corinthians in the Holy Bible, in chapter 7, verse 10, we can read, "To the married I give this command, not I, but the Lord. A wife must not separate from her husband, but if she does, she must remain unmarried or else be reconciled to her husband. And a husband must not divorce his wife." Today, the divorce rate in the United States is 50%. If you ask me, this is not following the word of the Bible, and definitely not preserving the sanctity of marriage. Earlier, in the book of Leviticus, chapters 20, verse 13, we read, "If a man lies with a man, as one lies with a woman, both of them have done what is detestable. They must be put to death. Their blood will be on their own hands." So while it is clearly stated that homosexuality is condemned in the Bible, in that same chapter earlier we read, "If a man commits adultery with another man's wife, with the wife of his neighbor, both the adulterer and the adulteress must be put to death." As well as many different chapters in the Bible refer to sexual immorality, which is basically sex before marriage or having multiple sexual partners. All of these things are definitely not allowed and have strict punishments that often include being put to death. Today, we can't allow people to be put to death for a simple crime like cheating on their wife. While these things are definitely looked down upon, we can't expect everyone to live by the same moral code, especially in a secular nation like the United States. The United States has no religious affiliation mixed with its government. Church and state are strictly separated. The words of the Bible cannot be applied to the laws of our states. Overall, today I've given you a history of the long struggle and discriminations that homosexuals have faced. But they've also made progress in recent times. But a civil union is not the same as legal marriage, and it does not offer the same benefits. While the Bible condemns homosexuality, as well as adultery and sexual immorality, we cannot expect everyone to live by the same standards or beliefs, especially in a secular nation like the United States. Church and state must be separated. Homosexuals have earned the right to marry the person they love, but they need our help and support to raise awareness.